When we think of a car, we picture either a sedan, hatchback, SUV, van, or two-door convertible. The cars that we see are sold on a regular basis by the large auto manufacturers. But why do the main chassis of the car look similar? Who dictates how a car should be designed, and why we can't step outside of that mold? Well, there have been some ingenious, out-of-the-box creative car designs, and we absolutely love it. They may not be available on mass market, but they're bold, strange, and completely unique. Definitely a strong statement to stand out in a crowd. Here are 7 of the strangest cars ever made. 7. Upside-down Ford F-150. This insanely strange-looking red and white contraption is exactly what the name describes. It's truly an upside-down Ford, with the wheels on the top of the car. The bumper and headlights are upside down. The side mirrors are on the bottom of the car, and the doors, although flipped over, still open to allow passengers inside. Illinois mechanic Rick Sullivan got the incredible idea to build this bizarre yet ingenious creation when he was called to collect a pickup truck that was flipped over. From parts of the 1991 Ford Ranger and 1995 F-150, Sullivan and a few co-workers took only 6 months and $6,000 to build this head-turning vehicle. Only $6,000 for one of the strangest yet coolest cars out there. That's brilliant. And to top it off, this one-of-a-kind 4-seater is legal to drive on the street, and the license plate reads FLIPOVR, just in case anyone was confused if this car is in fact upside down. There are of course wheels on the bottom to drive, but another cool feature is that the wheels on the top of the car rotate with an electric motor, adding to the fantastic illusion. Sullivan's creative genius is not ending with this upside-down Ford. He's always looking to build new, out-of-the-box projects, and we can't wait to see what crazy car he comes up with in the future. 6. 1953 General Motors Firebird 1. Did you just say a flying car? Well, we wish it was a flying car, but General Motors created a phenomenally bizarre yet amazing concept car that looks exactly like a fighter jet. The plane design has only one seat for the driver or pilot who enters the small cockpit once the rounded glass top opens. The Firebird has a rear wing exactly like a plane, 2 wings, an airplane-like exhausts under the wings, and a long, pointed front, designed to replicate a jet to the T. This jet car was created to test out GM's new Wildfire turbo power engine, which boasted an outstanding 370 horsepower at 13,000 RPM and a top speed of 100 miles per hour. To have so much power in the 1950s was most likely unheard of. Even today, getting that much horsepower today is rare. Sadly, the unique design was not practical at all and was difficult to drive. Only one person could operate the grounded jet, but it was the start in creating better generations of the distinctive Firebird. Although the concept of driving this jet-like car did not evolve into reality, it definitely sparked creativity and definitely became every little kid's dream car. 5. BMW Isetta. The BMW Isetta is a strange yet absolutely adorable-looking tiny vehicle that first hit the scene in 1953. Although this car's unbelievably cute and is on sale today for a crazy $50,000, the Isetta is not a very safe or comfortable car by any means. The front of the car, which holds the steering wheel, also doubles down as a door and the only entrance to the Isetta, unless you feel you can jump on the top of the car and enter through the sunroof. One would think that with a really lightweight chassis, the car could get a decent speed. But the latest model with a 298cc single-cylinder engine has an output of a meager 13 horsepower at 5,200 RPM and 13.6 pound-foot of torque at 4,600 RPM, reaching a maximum speed of 53 miles per hour if you're lucky. Although this miniature vehicle doesn't have the best speed or power, it was a huge BMW seller in the 1950s because it offered a cheap car to the masses, contrary to BMW's more luxurious and expensive vehicles. Don't you wish your grandpa still had one of these iconic cars in his shed, so you could check it out and see what all the hype's about? 4. 1942 Urf Electrique. Way before the time of Elon Musk and the boom of electric vehicles, French artist and engineer Paul Arzen created his own quirky electric vehicle, inspired by what he envisioned the future would be. It took a long 60 years for electric cars to be mainstream, but Arzen had the right idea. Œuf électrique, translated to English, means electric egg, and Arzen's creation is a tiny egg-shaped car with a large front plexiglass windshield and a lightweight aluminium rear. Arzen put together this entire two-seater vehicle by hand. With its electric motor and battery, the egg could travel up to 63 miles and reach 44 miles per hour with a single person, quite a feat for an electric car pre-World War II. Throughout his life, Arzen used his strange creation to drive around town, and after his death, his car was brought to the Museum of Arts and Crafts. So, if you ever want to see this masterful car, just hop on a plane or GM Firebird to Paris to see the brilliant design in person. 3. The phone car. You remember the old home desk phones with the wire connected to the headphone, with 12 buttons in the middle of the body? Or if you aren't that old, you've definitely seen it on TV. Now, imagine that as a car. It's almost impossible to think of a phone as a car, but entrepreneur Howard Davis actually built a candy apple red phone car from the body of a 1975 Volkswagen Beetle, which he bought for just $125. Davis loves phones and has been collecting phones for many years, which inspired him to strip down a Beetle, create his dream car, and get a few laughs and head turns along the way. It took him about a year to build with the help of mechanics, and it is street legal with all the safety equipment and essentials needed to drive. There's no actual information on the car's specs, but it's believed to speed up to 50 miles per hour, and instead of a normal horn sound when honking, it makes a phone ringing sound instead. That must definitely cause a lot of confusion and giggles from other drivers. The license plate, to state the obvious, is labeled phones, and surprisingly, while driving, the phone car has never been stopped by a cop, but they have seen cops stop to take a photo. If you're interested in seeing this incredibly absurd car in person, the car goes on tours, and you can contact David via his website, thephonecar.com. Maybe you can even get lucky and catch a ride on the phone. That'll definitely be a phone call to remember. 2. 1970 Ferrari 512 S Modulo. The Ferrari Modulo is a very low-to-the-ground car, with a flatter body design that resembles a sci-fi spaceship. The all-white car covers the top of the wheels, has a red strip that runs along the center of the whole car, and has thin front side lights along the red strip, and large rectangle headlights on the hood of the car. The back body of the car is outfitted with 12 circular nodes on each side that help with aerodynamics. The interior is fitted with red leather seats, with 2 segmented cushions for each body part. There are no doors, so to enter the car, the top and the windshield slide outwards towards the front of the car, allowing the driver and passenger to enter. On the driver's side is a gear shift and a strange-looking half-moon black ball with buttons and attachments, which looks like a robot that came out of Star Wars. The radical concept car won 22 awards thanks to its eccentric design. Although the design's outstanding, the 512 S Modulo was not created to look otherworldly, but it was made as a superior racing car. With a 5-liter Ferrari V12 engine, the 1970 Ferrari Beast boasts a jaw-dropping 550 horsepower, maximum speed of 220 miles per hour, and an acceleration of 0 to 60 in 3 seconds. There are simply no words to describe this strange alien car that even today is one of the most powerful and futuristic cars ever to be built. Ferrari went to the moon and beyond to create this spaceship. 1. Messerschmitt KR200. Another bizarre-looking minuscule bubble car, the Messerschmitt KR200, is a car that tops the wild, strange-looking list. If the Mad Hatter from Alice in Wonderland drove a car, this would be perfect for him. This unique 3-seater and 3-wheeler has charming, round, large headlights on the front body, which connects to the 2 side mirrors with a thin wire, and resembles an adorable cat with large eyes and whiskers. There's 1 windshield wiper for the rectangular windshield and no doors. The entire top, windshield and windows open up to the right for people to enter. The interior is cozy and small, and the steering wheel is not round, but crescent-shaped similar to a jet. Messerschmitt was a German aircraft manufacturer, but after a loss in World War II, they started designing cars, in which the Messerschmitt KR200 was a huge hit. And they still are today, with some of the KR200s in pristine condition, being sold for over $83,000. You can get a good Ferrari for that price. Similar to the BMW Isetta, the KR200 has a weak output of just 10 horsepower and a top speed of 56 miles per hour if you really crank the gas. But this iconic strange car is a vintage car owner's dream, and some would rather go for old school bizarre flair than a new powerful car. And you'll definitely get a ton of attention in this cute, crazy vehicle. Now that you think that all cars today in the market are just too ordinary and boring for your liking, maybe you can come up with the next imaginative idea to create a roller coaster or lion car. Who knows, but if we can create extraordinarily strange vehicles, why should we stick to the plain boring cars in the market now? Take a step out of the crowded traffic and roll down the streets in a one-of-a-kind artistic masterpiece.